Hello and welcome. Let's see what we've got going on. Who's out there in chat land? It is now Monday, 5 p.m. New York time, 12 a.m. in Israel. I'm joined by Colton, and we're waiting for Jonathan and maybe others. Who's joined us by live chat that we can say hello to?
No one said anything yet.
How you doing, Colton?
I'm good. I'm living a dream. Just got done with my cohort talking about Jennifer Noonan's little book here about second language acquisition for biblical studies. Looking at a few things from there. It's been.
We do like second language acquisition and biblical languages too, so that's good.
Yeah, right. It's a helpful book. One of the things I was telling the class is sometimes we're just really unimaginative with the way that we study, or sometimes, it's like you can take multiple exercises and tweak them to work on specific things, and I think we're just unimaginative sometimes, because we were doing an exercise and he was like, "Oh, I guess we could do this anytime we read." One of the guys, and I was like, "Absolutely." The whole point is like you can work on different skills if you know what skills there are to work on, and I think her book is a handy way to do that.
Well, second language acquisition, like theory, I guess that's what they call it. There are a lot of good ideas in it, and we tend to ignore them when it comes to biblical languages because we consider the biblical languages dead. And studying a dead language isn't quite the same as studying a language as a living tool and something that you can use for communication and for that. So our purpose here is basically along those lines to get used to reading Hebrew as not necessarily as a spoken language, because the biblical language really isn't spoken, but at least reading it with some type of fluency, because reading fluency improves general acquisition of language.
Or just understanding that it's communicative. Like, even if it's not used communicatively today, it was for a people at a certain time. It's like, oh.
I will remind everybody, our YouTube address is youtube.com/@theHebrewCafe. I'm going to sneeze, I think. Trying not to, but I think it's coming. But I've held it off. Okay, good. Our Facebook address is facebook.com/theHebrewCafe. Patreon, for those who are interested in helping us out, patreon.com/theHebrewCafe. We have comments today from Galen, who's one of our Patreon users as well, and is welcome to join us on the stage if you'd like to read. I've posted all the links on Patreon for those who are members. Jonathan should be in a couple of minutes. We kind of want to limit our on-stage readers to 4 people at a time, because otherwise nobody gets really a chance to read. We are starting tonight in Joshua chapter 9. We're in verse 10. I think we had said that we're basically going to read through Joshua 9 and 10, and then we're going to go to other things. Jonathan and Colton had talked about the book of Judges. Luke was talking to me about perhaps going into Isaiah. Not sure what people might want, but it's something we can think about, because we still have a little bit of time before we close up with Joshua. All right, so here we are. I'm pulling up the text on Logos. Again, on the left we have, well, this is BHS. I'm going to put it in BHQ because don't we have BHQ for Joshua? I guess we don't. All right, so BHS it is. And on the right, you see the textual notation, the apparatus. Okay, so I guess Jonathan is not appearing before we get started, which means, Colton, you can go first if you'd like. Sure, I'm going to get rid of our names from the screen. I hope everybody knows. I'm Jason. That's Colton.
Yeah, you said start in verse 10?
Yeah.
𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗪 עשה לשני מלכי האמורי, אשר בעבר הירדן.
Check the stress on that word. Look at that munach sitting right there.
Yeah, look at that. אשר בעבר הירדן, לסיחון מלך חשבון, לאוג מלך הבשן, אשר Ashtarot.
Right.
And all which he did to the 2 kings of the Amorites, which were in ever That's not a proper name, is it? Um,
Oh, Ever is on the other side. Ever is on the.
yeah, okay, across the Jordan,
Mhm.
to Sihon, king of Heshbon, and to
Oh,
Og,
Jonathan, you're typing really loud. Sorry, bud. Gotta mute you.
Sorry.
and to Og, the king of Bashan, which were who were in Ashtaroth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the little A on the end is a note in the apparatus. Points over to BHS on verse 10. It says that the Septuagint, that's that little G is for Greek, adds the words kain edrain, and in edrain, wherever that is, and it compares it to chapter 12, verse 4, and Deuteronomy 1:4. All right, so who is this? It says 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗩𝗧, everything he did. Who is the he? Let's go back up. Verse 9 said, ויאמרו אליו, they said to him, מארץ רחוקה מאוד באו עבדיך, לשם אדוני אלוהיך. כי שמענו שומעו ואת כל אשר עשה במצרים. So the asa here is referring to, who's that referring to?
Joshua?
Adonai Elohecha.
Oh, sorry, I read.
We came for the sake of the Lord your God, for we heard his report, or his hearing, and everything that he did in Egypt, and everything he did to the two kings of the Amorite people, which were beyond the Jordan, to Sihon, the king of Heshbon, and to Og, the king of Bashan, that were in Ashtaroth.
Yeah, sorry, I read verse 8 instead of verse 9. I was like, what?
So that's the referent. Like when it says "Ve'et kol asher asa," asa is referring to God doing it. All right,
Muriel,
brilliant. We have Muriel. Hello. We have the gang building up again. We're at 3 viewers right now. So if you got friends who like to read Hebrew, or just like to hear Hebrew read, get them on here and get them participating with us, because I think it's an exciting project. Verse 11. Jonathan, are you gonna read verse 11 for us? You say just a minute. Okay, so you're still working on the translation. All right, verse 11. It says, "Vayomru elenu zkenenu v'chol yoshvei artzenu lemor." Okay, so this I thought that this was the quote, right? They said to us, blah blah blah, but actually, this is the subject of the verb. They said. So our elders and all the inhabitants of our land said to us, saying, lemor. Why do I think that's a subject without going further?
Well, there's no et particle for one.
Well, it could be they said, and that this is the quote. This is the quotation. They said to us, our elders and all the inhabitants of our land.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have lemor. And lemor is introducing speech, like definitely. So that means that this should probably, without going further, be read as the subject of Vayomru. They said to us, that is, our elders and all the inhabitants of our land, they said, saying, קחו בידכם צידה לדרך, ולכו לקראתם, ואמרתם אליהם, עבדיכם אנחנו, ועתה כרתו לנו ברית. כרתו לנו ברית. So this is what they said. Take in your hand, it says hand singular, yedchem, and not yedechem, which would be khu videchem, take in your hands. Tzeidah, this is what we had this last week, remember the word for provisions. Take in your hand provisions for the journey, or for the way, la derech. Ulechu likratam, and go to meet them. That's what Jonathan would like to say. Go to meet them, or go toward them, go in their direction. Likrat can be to meet or toward, in the direction of. Va'amartem elehem, or alehem, and you shall say to them. Amartem is the vekatal, the future that's continuing the imperative chu, take. Avdechem anachnu, we are your servants. Avdechem is from avadim, slaves or servants, and dechem is yours, right? Avdechem anachnu, we are your slaves, we are your servants. Ve'ata, And now, 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗧𝗢𝗏𝗡, make a covenant for us. At that point where 𝗥𝗘𝗦 is imperative, right? Yeah, I think that's basically. Notice that the 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗚, our elders, has an additional yod inside of it that isn't normal. Normally it's zaken without this yod, and zkenim without this yod. It's this is an additional like mater lectionis, vowel letter that wouldn't be normal in orthography. Apart from that, I think everything looks pretty standard. Anything you want to comment? Or any comments from or questions from the live chat?
Or as Jonathan called them last week, the peanut gallery.
But I didn't mean that in a disrespectful manner.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, he meant it.
Was funny.
I am not.
He meant it because last week I had peanuts with me. Remember? That's why he said it, because I was eating peanuts. It broke all over the floor. But this week I have kefli. They're like Funyuns, but they're in Hebrew. Kefli. Yes. I finish work at 11 o'clock at night, and then this starts at midnight. So I run to the kiosk and grab some snacks and Coke, and then come this way. And that's what I got tonight. Anyway, I'm going to let Jonathan have verse 12 if you're ready.
I am ready.
And I'm going to mute myself for a minute. You just go ahead. I'm going to go check on something because I heard something fall down in the other room. I'll be right back.
Okay.
The peanuts strike again.
We got Zelachmenu cham hitztayadnu oto mivatenu bayom setenu lalechet alechem v'ata hine yavesh v'haya nikudim. So I think this is our bread. Cham. Let's see what does this do with it. I'm gonna open up my cheat sheet. Colton, do you have any ideas?
Yeah.
What does this look like?
This is our bread. Like it's
This is our bread, but what about cham?
It's like bad. Does it mean like spoiled or something along those lines?
Maybe. I don't remember. Cham.
You wouldn't believe what it was. I left a window open in the living room just to air it out because it's been closed up all day. And it closed by itself. It slammed shut. That's strange. Anyway, zelachmenu cham. This bread of ours is
warm.
Technically hot.
Yeah.
Hot.
Yeah. Probably means that it's not been well kept because we're in the desert. It's gotten hot, which means it's probably going stale.
And hitztayanu is a very weird form. You would think you would think it's a metathesized hitpael, but it's not.
It is.
It
is.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. With tzadi, the taf becomes tet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, neat.
Because tzadi is emphasized. It's an emphatic consonant, and then the tet matches it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I did not.
It's from the word seda that we just had provisions. So we have provisioned ourselves. We have
provisioned it or provisioned him.
In other words, we've taken it on as a provision from our house. We've had it since we've left the house.
And
so it's no good.
There's a note that says that's lacking in the Septuagint. So, yeah. On the day
because it's really not necessary if you think about it. It could say it's tayadnu oto biyom tzitenu lalechet alechem. It wouldn't need mibatenu. So the Septuagint isn't like crazy.
Yeah. So on the day that we went out to you, and now yavesh to clothe. No, that's lava.
No, that's dry.
Oh yeah. So dry. What is that? A stative?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So,
which would be used as an adjective. Yavesh is to dry. If you say like to dry yourself is lihit yabesh. To be dried out. To dry out.
Dry. It is now dry or something.
Yeah. Behold, it is dry, and it will
be marked.
But I think that's the word for like really stale and like, maybe moldy.
Stale. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Crumbs is how they.
Yeah,
And it will be crumbs?
maybe.
Crumbly,
Something
I
like
think, is what they're going for.
Oh, yeah, we had this last week. That's right.
This says moldy in the
Yeah.
NRSV. But now see it as dry and moldy.
Yeah.
All right. Very nice. зе לחמנו חם. Notice that לחמנו is technically definite because it has the suffix on it.
Yep.
לחמנו is הלחם שלנו, the bread of us.
And Jason,
зе,
I'm sure at this point you want to go into a lecture about 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗡, right?
I'm going to avoid it. But we do see that lechem has the original structure of lachm.
You didn't
Lachm.
avoid it.
Yeah, but
baited
anyway,
you
so
into it.
ze lachmenu cham. This bread of ours is hot. This bread of ours is hot. We could say lachmenu hazeh cham, right? Ze lachmenu is like saying alechem, alechem hazeh, this bread of ours. Hi, J. Kirkpatrick. Welcome. You cannot help but get electron segulets when you come to read Hebrew with us. It's my favorite topic. But I do try to avoid it. I try not to go into all the time. Yeah.
Just once a
All
week
right.
is sufficient most of the time.
And we only meet once a week. So.
No, I just meant once per the meetings is what.
We're gonna meet more than once a week from here on out because I'm gonna do shorts. We'll see how that goes with Dr. Cook's grammar.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's my turn, right?
Yep.
So we're in verse 13, and it's Colton's turn.
Yeah, look, I'm paying attention this week, and I'm still just as confused as I was last week. But Ele no dod hayat. Ooh, sorry. The Ele no dod hayayin asher melenu chadashim. Oh, there it is, Jason. V'hinei hitbacha'u.
Hitbaka'u. So it would be, remember, it would be that it's hitbaka'u, but this is in pause. And in pause, the historical vowel returns. Hitbaka'u. Hitbaka'u.
Okay. Yeah, and then Ve'ele shalmotenu.
Not sha, but salmotenu.
Yeah, salmotenu.
Jonathan, type in again.
Una alenu balu merov haderek meod.
So salmotenu, we talked about that before. Remember, salma is like simla. It's a garment, clothes.
Okay. Yeah. And these are the wineskins which we filled new. We filled them new when they were new, maybe. But the idea. And behold, they are bacha.
Remember from Moses parting the sea, Bukya Yam. The Hitbaka'u, they've cracked.
Yeah. Okay.
They've cracked or split.
And these.
Yeah, split is how I learned it. Like when Abraham splits wood.
Like, but it's also used for bread, I think. Bukya lechem, I think.
That would make sense since we just talked about bread. Yep.
And these are garments and our shoes. They are bala.
We had the adjectives balot and balim. They're worn out. This is the verb balu. They have worn out.
They're okay. They've worn out from Merov, the way very much. They've worn out a lot. They're very worn out from the way.
Yeah. From the abundance of the journey vary. The exceeding abundance of the journey. Like
A very great journey. Yeah.
Yes. So rov can be greatness, abundance. It's a noun, rov. From the word rav, great. All right. I get a short one. Look at any questions about the verbs. Let's see. First of all, nodot. I think I mentioned before that nod in modern Hebrew without the aleph, with a vav, it means like litkoa nod. It's like what makes a smell. not a good way. So that's fun. Milenu is from lemale. People say lemalot to fill, but it's actually lemale. Even in the Bible, we have lemalot with ot instead of a, like in the book of Daniel. But milenu lemale, to fill. So milenu chadashim, we filled them up new. Right? We filled up the nodot new. And behold, they're falling apart. And these are clothes and our shoes have worn out because we walked so far. Right? So they're telling them, we really made a long trip to come and meet you. Our bread is no good. Our wine skins are worn out. And our clothes and shoes are all falling off of us. And the children of Israel walk for 40 years in the desert, and their garments and shoes do not wear out. So that's interesting.
Somebody call me a ambulance. Whiny Israelites.
No, these are not Israelites. These are not Israelites.
Proto-Israelites.
No, these are not the Hebrews. These are the people who are coming to the Hebrews, asking them for peace, asking them, please make a...
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see who it says. We've come from a faraway land, right? We are your slaves.
Who was it?
The Hivites.
Hivites? Okay.
The Hivites, the Jebusites, the mosquito bites.
Yes.
I hate. We're in mosquito season now, and I hate it.
Limlo would be like, or I guess it'd be Limla. Be like the state of, right? Malay is what I'm getting at.
Malay, to be full.
Malay.
Mm-hmm.
In the call, is my point, would be to be full versus in the PL is to fill. All right.
Yeah, the Malay is to fill. Yeah. So the word melo is used for fullness, like the fullness of all the earth is his glory. Isaiah chapter 6. Melo chol haaretz kvodo. Yeah. So verse 14. Pardon me that my cough has returned. I just can't get rid of it. It's evil.
I have the same thing. We're
all doing it.
Yep.
Okay, so verse 14. ויקחו אנשים מצדם, ואת פי אדוני לא שאלו. Sha'alu is from Sha'alu, but it is the historic pausal form, Sha'alu. Okay, vayikhu anashim mitzedam. The people took from their provision, from their, tzed could be like hunting as well. It could be, like if you bring a hunt or the product of a hunt, the animal that you have after you've killed it, right? But it means here that they took from their provision. That is from the provision of these men who came. So they accepted what they offered them. Ve'et pi Adonai, the mouth of God, they did not seek. They did not ask. The mouth of God meaning God's opinion. They didn't ask what God had to say about it, which means that they just did whatever they thought was right. Right. According to the note, it says that the P, the word mouth, is missing from the Septuagint. So it would mean ve'et Adonai lo sha'alu, and they did not ask God. And the other note, it says 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗪𝗏 means hanisiim. It says that the Septuagint reads the rulers or the princes, not the people. Vayikhu hanisiim mitzedam. The rulers took from their provision and not the people of Israel, right?
It is interesting that they're the same consonants, just all kind of mismatched up.
You're an amazing.
Yeah, anashim nisim. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. I think that any questions about it? I think that's very straightforward, I think. Mm-hmm. Another word that could be used instead of lish'ol, to ask, you could say lidrosh. Lidrosh, to inquire of God. Ve'et Adonai lo darash. They didn't inquire of God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm seeing that a lot in reading through 2 Chronicles right now. That's the word that they're using a lot for that.
We use the word darash or midrash, drash, to mean a sense of like interpreting and giving a homily, almost like a sermon. Mm-hmm. That's how it's used in modern Hebrew. But lidrosh also means to demand or to require. And it's also used for help wanted. If you need a job in Israel, if you're looking for a job, what you look at is not wanted ads. You look at droshim, and they'll post it on the door of the building, droshim, and they'll say what they're looking for.
Fun.
Yeah. Jonathan, I think.
Yep, it's my turn.
Number 15.
Yep. Am I off of mute now?
Yeah. When you're not typing, you can be off of mute.
So, Vayas lahem Yoshua Shalom, Vayikrot lahem Berit, lechayotam, Vayeshav ulahem Nesi'e ha'edah. So, Joshua made, I guess, for them peace, maybe a peace offering. Shalem.
Yeah, he made peace with them.
Oh, with them. Okay. And he cut a covenant with them in order to preserve their lives. Is that kind of what the nuance is with that infinitive?
Yeah. L'chayot is to preserve a life. Yeah.
Yeah, to preserve their lives. And they swore to him, well, it means they will bear. They will be bearers or something.
No, the Nisi'e is the princes. The princes of the community.
Oh, the prince. Okay. And the princes of the assembly swore to him.
So you have a lot of good things here.
Made a vow, I guess, maybe.
For this one, I actually want to open up Microsoft Word and go through the forms, because this has some really good verbs.
Yeah, it does.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. So let's look at them. Yeah. Let's I'm gonna change the settings here a little bit. And there we go. And we're going to use Hebrew from the other side. So the first one we have is Vayas. I'm going to make it bigger. Don't worry. Okay, so we make it big. Vayas. What is this word? What's it mean? Asa. Yes, it means asa. So why do we say Vayas and not asa?
It's one of those ones that shorten. You would expect maybe Vayaseh.
All right, good. So the 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥 or the future is what you said, right? Without the verb.
The accent is carried forward, so it's 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥.
All right, Ya'aseh is the 𝗥𝗘𝗦. So when we have the jussive is normally with the third hey, it drops the eh. Let's just put that one more time. Okay, so we've got ya, and Jonathan, you're going to love it because this touches on 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥 again. Ya'aseh in the jussive, we're going to drop the third hey. It disappears. And now what do we have? We have ya'as. Notice that this is a half vowel. It's actually an echo vowel. It's only there because we have a guttural, and it really means shva. Right? That's what it means. Because the shva is a shva. It's not really a vowel. It's a reduction of a vowel. So what do we have whenever we have this? We can't have that. It's a consonant cluster, and we don't like them. So normally the routine would be to add segul, because segulets add segul. But when you have a guttural, changes that to ah.
And
so ya'as.
What do you call that phenomenon, Mr. 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥?
I don't even care about those things.
Well, get a 50% on a John Cook exam then.
What is that then? What do you call it?
That would be an anaptictic vowel.
An anaptictic vowel.
Anaptictic vowel is an added vowel to make it sound good.
Anaptictic vowel.
Yep.
We don't need these words. All right, so Ya'aseh
from John Cook, who hates to categorize things.
Yeah,
Very does.
Ya'aseh means he will do, and Ya'as is let him do. It's jussive, let him. Now the vav consecutive is normally formed by adding va to the jussive. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to add va, and we get our vav consecutive. Va Ya'as. All right, great. And so this is, the Ya'as is a 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥 form. 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥 forms occur with verbs. Yay, not just with nouns. Because 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥, the whole thing of the segula just means breaking up a consonant cluster. That's what it means. Okay, so that's my fun. But what's the next verb that we need to look at? Vayas lehem Yoshua shalom. Shalom is what he made for them. Vayichrot lehem brit. Okay, vayichrot, we should know this is karat, which means he cut. Remember, in the PL, it's a bad thing. Lecharet is to cut off.
Yeah.
You excise them from the community. You kick them out, or even put them to death. There's some debate about what it means to do karet to somebody back in those days. And so he cut for them a covenant, meaning that he made a covenant for them. Lechay-otam. Lechay-otam is to save their lives, to bring them out alive. Yeah? And this is from chai, meaning alive. Chayim, life.
It's a double yod.
What is this one? Well, the double yod is because it's PL.
Mm-hmm. Then you've got nifal, because you got the assimilated noon and you've got the kamatz.
Exactly. So we've got, let's get rid of that thing. Okay, we've got, the verb is from the root shava. Okay, but it's nifal, it's nishba. Right? He swore. Nishba, slicha. Nishba, he swore. How do we get to the infinitive? To swear.
It's a hey.
We have a lamed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Everything outside of the kal has a hey in it somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Except for the PL. PL pual. So it has a hey. And then we would have the nishba. But we don't like the lehin. Lehin, we don't like it. So we get rid of that. And the noon assimilates.
Lahinch.
All right. So this is what we get.
The noon is hiding.
Two. The noon is hiding inside of the shin. Right? And it's called assimilation. Lehi sha. We can have it two ways. We can have lishavea, okay, or we can have lishava, which is how we say it today. Lishava, lishava. It can be either way in the Bible. And also the future. The future can be yishava or yishavea. It can be either way. And so that's what we have. We have vayishava'u, vayishavea, vayishava'u. They did it with the u. Okay, fantastic. And nisi'e is nasi. The most famous passage in the Bible that has the word nasi is?
I don't remember.
The Isaiah one.
No. Daniel chapter 9. The ruler of the people, or remember it says, until Messiah the Prince. That's how the NIV says it.
Interesting. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's Nagid. That uses the word Nagid.
What is
still got the vowel.
So it's not Isaiah chapter 9 or chapter 7.
Yeah, what is the Prince of Peace one? Yeah.
Sar Shalom.
Sorry, Shalom. Okay.
That's Isaiah 9. Sorry, Isaiah 9, Prince of Peace. Mm-hmm. All right, verse 16. We're making slow progress, but I think we're covering some good stuff. Does everybody like segulets? I really like segulets.
I love them. It's a good time. Now that I understand them, I love them a lot more. They make everything make sense.
I tend to tell people that once you understand what's happening with segulets, you can understand everything that happens in Hebrew.
It's good. Yeah. Good to know.
All right, verse 16.
Yeah. Vahi 𝗥𝗚𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗡 shalosh yamim.
Well, let's be a little bit more intentional with the second word. It's 𝗥𝗚𝗦𝗥𝗚. Why intentional? Because technically this is the word min, from, and 𝗥𝗚, the end of, or the extremity of. Why is there no dagesh in the kuf?
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
Because it's shva, it's a movable shva, a mobile shva, and it's got a skinim levi letter. Kuf is skinim levi.
Yeah, it does.
𝗥𝗚𝗦𝗥𝗚 shloshet yamim. So it's going to sound like this. Vayhi 𝗥𝗚𝗦 shloshet yamim. 𝗥𝗚. The 𝗥𝗚 goes together as a word.
Okay. Vayhi 𝗥𝗚𝗦 shloshet yamim achare asher karatu
Got to stick that together. It can't say 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗪. You got to say 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗪.
Yeah, sorry, I got stuck because I didn't like the way that it sounded. Asher 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗪 lahem brit, v'yishma'u ki kerovim hem elav, uvkirvo hem yoshvim.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to comment on so many things here. Like it's really good.
Okay, and it was from the end of 3 days after which they cut for them after they made a covenant.
So the which doesn't need to be translated. It's after they made them a covenant.
Yeah, I was already there when I realized that, though.
Well, after which is fine if it helps you put it together.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it was just I'd said it already. And I couldn't put the toothpaste back in.
But the problem with after which is that it creates a subordination in English that doesn't belong, and I'll say why. The asher doesn't really have meaning. It just connects the preposition 𝗥𝗓𝗦 to a verb. You can't connect prepositions to verbs in Hebrew. You can't say after I went. Like that's an impossible construction. You have to say after that I went. Like it has to have that. Asher.
Isn't it too? So it's sometimes ad asher too, isn't it?
What is ada?
Ad asher. Ad asher.
Oh, ad asher. Because ad is the preposition, and asher has to be there to connect it to a verb. Yeah, you can't connect a preposition directly to a verb in Hebrew. So in modern Hebrew, instead of אחרי אשר כרתו ברית, you say אחרי שכרתו ברית, and the she is asher. And so modern Hebrew uses this construction exactly, but with she instead of asher, and they use it all the time. Very, very good. Why can you not say asher כרתו lahem brit? Why can you not put a space there? כרתו lahem brit, where you can't pause in the speaking. If you know Spanish, then you know like te amo. You can't say te amo because te is an enclitic. It belongs with the verb. I love you. You say te amo. It goes together. It can't be broken. So lahem here is enclitic.
Although you pronounce your Spanish more like Italian. Te llamo. Te llamo.
Te llamo. Te llamo. Te llamo. So it has to be joined together very strongly, and it's marked by the 𝗥𝗚𝗦𝗥𝗡 accents that joins those two words together. כרתו להם ברית. כרתו להם ברית. It has to go together. It's like saying les hizo. Les hizo, for them he made, and you can't separate them. You can't have les on its own. It has to be with the verb.
Yeah.
So the lahem has to join to the verb.
Yeah. You said the mercha and the what's the one under lahem?
Tipcha.
Yeah. So when they're together, it was just one of those things. Like it just helped me remember them. It's like they're like a hug. It's like two arms reaching around for a hug.
Yeah. In sign language, in American Sign Language, it looks like the word welcome.
Called manure, a strange fruit. I tell you.
Hey, I don't think so. I think it makes good sense. They're like close to each other.
It's just those two marks are like a hug. It's like it's hugging the lettuce. It's like giving you a big hug.
It's a good way to remember it. You see the little one under the first one and the little one under the second one. It's saying together. Yes. כרתו להם ברית. כרתו להם ברית. They made a covenant for them. Yeah.
Sorry.
And
they heard that.
What else?
Yeah, and let me finish. And they heard that neighbors were they to him? Sure.
They were close to him.
Okay.
They were close to him.
Yeah. Okay. And they were living close to them.
And they were dwelling in his midst.
In his dwelling, they were. Well,
in his midst. I wonder if the 𝗟𝗓 and the 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗪 refers to like the people.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like the second half of that nearly as much.
Yeah. Well, let's look at NRSV, see how they handled it. When 3 days had passed after they had made a treaty with them, they heard that they were their neighbors and were living among them. So the them refers to the Israelites, right? That they were living among the Israelites and that they were close to them.
Their neighbors were they to
Mhm.
them.
But neighbors, technically, neighbor is shachen, and karov means close. It
Yeah.
also is it's also used for like a family member. Like a family member is krov mishpacha, like someone who's close of the family. Hugs are not biblical unless it's a covenant. That's interesting. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. And Muriel said that these are useful comments about prepositions, and Asher also the segolets. I'm glad you like the segolets. That's very nice. And of course, earlier we had Vayas, and Kirkpatrick was saying that J means what? J means James? What is Kirkpatrick? That Vav consecutive means
And his name
Vayas
is
is.
J-A-Y, I think.
Oh, Jason Kirkpatrick. Look at that. That's quite a name. I must praise you for your name.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes.
Oh, I mean Jason. That's the name.
Oh, Jason.
I mean,
Oh,
sometimes
Jason.
I think he thinks he's Jesus, but
No, I think that I'm hungry. That's what I think. So number 17. Actually, my dinner was at 5 p.m. and now it is almost 1 a.m. and I am very hungry. That's why I'm eating these little Funyuns, Israeli Funyuns. Number 17 is for Jonathan's reading pleasure.
probably better than American Funyuns. Okay, so Vayisa'u b'nei Yisrael vayavo'u el arehem bayom hashalishi. Sorry. Va'arechem giv'on v'hakafira uva'erot v'kiryat Ye'arim. So,
Yummy reading. Thank you.
You're welcome. The Israelites journeyed, and they came to the cities on the third day.
What cities? Wouldn't the cities be Ha'arim?
Their cities.
Yeah, to their cities. Yeah.
Yep, on the third day.
Is that referring probably to the Hittite or the Hivite cities, the guys that they're talking to and that have made a covenant with them?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And the Arehem, their cities again. That's
and then it gives a list of what their cities are called.
Their
right?
cities
these
were.
are these are the Hivite cities.
Yeah, their cities were Giv'on and Kfira, Uv'erot, and Kiryat Ye'arim.
All right. Any guess what those words mean? Giv'on. Does it ring any words to you? Giv'on.
The Gibeonites.
Warrior?
Shalom gam lecha. Hebrew Torah 101. Giv'on is related to the word for Giv'ah. Giv'ah is a hill. I think Giv'on would be a small hill, maybe. We have a town outside of Tel Aviv. It's part of the Tel Aviv metro area called 𝗥𝗚𝗦𝗘𝗏. 𝗥𝗚𝗦𝗘𝗏 means two hills. Yep. Great. The next one, Kfira. Kfira.
Like sapphire?
It could be related to the kofel, right? Okay. The problem is Kfira for me means disbelief. I don't know why, because today we say Kfira, like kofir. A kofir is somebody who doesn't believe, an atheist, non-believer. Like in Arabic, kufir, kafir. I don't know, but the word for disbelief is related to this. But it looks like probably related to like you said, the covering, like in the Ark of the Covenant. Be'erot are wells, yeah, like Be'er Sheva, and Kiryat Ye'arim is the city of forests. We have a bunch of towns called 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗥𝗡𝗥. Feels weird, but anyway, yeah, we've got several towns like Kiryat Shmona, Kiryat Gat. We have a lot of towns with Kirya in Hebrew, but you will see the word Kirya a lot in the book of Ezra. Ezra, that has 4 chapters in Aramaic, because the word Kirya is the normal word for city. in Aramaic.
Yeah.
Ah,
All right.
It's walls. It's like walls or something in Hebrew. Like
walls are komot, or like not komot, chomot with chet.
Choma.
Yeah. Komot are like stories or floors, or koma is height, tallness, something like
but
that.
I thought here was another word for it.
For modern Hebrew, instead of koma, we say gova, height. But still, koma was a biblical word for height. But it was also used, I think, in the Ark of the Covenant for the different floors. That, like, it's 3 floors or something like that. I remember shalosh komot. Not sure. Anyway, verse 18. So this is the result of the things that we've read until now. ולא יקום בני ישראל, כי נשבעו להם נשיאי העדה באדוני אלוהי ישראל, וילונו כל העדה על הנשיאים. This is not the word for lodging or sleeping. It's not lodging or sleeping. It's the word for complaining. That's what we've got going on in there, complained. So it says, lo hikum. Hikum is from hiku, otam. Otam is them. They did not hit them. They didn't strike them. They didn't kill them. Right? They're coming to the Hivite cities. The subject is Bnei Israel. The children of Israel, the Israelites, did not strike them. They didn't attack them. Why? Because they had sworn to them, and this is the subject, the leaders of the community, the princes of the Eidah, of the assembly, they had sworn to them by the Lord God of Israel. So they had made an oath to them in the name of the God of Israel. And it says, but they complained, all the congregation, all the assembly complained against the leaders of the community. They complained because they had made the covenant with them. And remember that the instructions specifically were not to make a covenant with the peoples of Canaan, but they did. Why would they do that? All right. Any questions? Vayilonu, it's related to the word pluna. Today we would use the hitpael and say hitlonenu. Hitlonenu, it's hitpolel. Hitlonenu, they complained. But this is, what would be, I can't make out the binyan. It says nifal of lun, to murmur, complain, to grumble against them. All those words. It says it's nifal. All right. How do we go? How are we doing? Everybody holding up?
Mm-hmm.
Bored? I'm not bored. I love my Hebrew.
I've been going since 9 o'clock this morning. I went to HEC had a conference in the library. We presented papers, student papers. It was fun. I didn't write one though. I just came to listen. Support my friends.
We are back to Colton, I think. Are we?
Yeah, sorry. Yep. My bad.
Well, let's see. Hold on just a second. This was, yes, that was Jonathan and me, and now Colton. Okay, verse 19.
Yeah. ויאמרו כל הנשיאים אל כל העדה, אנחנו נשבענו, להם, ביום אלוהי ישראל.
באדוני.
Israel. Badonai. What did I say?
Badonai Elohei Yisrael. You said Bayom.
Oh, sorry. Badonai Elohei Yisrael. Va'ata lo nuchal lingoa bahem.
Lingoa is like lagaat. It's the same. Like linsoa, you could also say lasaat. Lasaat, to travel, to drive.
All right.
For some reason, it's common, like they decided for modern Hebrew that we're not going to say lasaat, we're going to say linsoa, and we're not going to say lingoa, we're going to say lagat. But both forms are possible and exist.
Okay. And all the princes said to all of the congregation, all of the assembly, we have sworn to them
Notice the emphasis on that word. אנחנו נשבענו להם. We swore to them. We made them a promise. We did. That's the leaders. The people didn't, but the leaders did. So they have to keep it, right? You can't make an oath in the name of God and then take it back.
By the Lord God of Israel, and now we are not able to smite to them.
To touch them.
Yeah. Oh, that makes good. I like that better. Yeah, it's a lot better.
We're not able to touch them. Interestingly, the word for touch, lingua or lagat, naga, is related directly to the word nega. Nega. It's like it's not really a touch. In that case, it's what's that?
It sounds like a racially inappropriate word.
Oh no!
Is that what you're thinking, Paul?
I knew that's what you're gonna say because I think it every time that I hear the word.
It's so funny because like I'm just so used to Hebrew that I don't even think about those things. I hear nega and I think like
I think you could make a darn good mnemonic for that one. Just don't say
so
it.
So it means something like a plague, and I never thought of that. I never thought of it being
especially inappropriate.
But I never thought of it as being related to.
Hey, that's what Trump thinks. He thinks they are a plague on this.
This is not a political. All right, so if we can think for a second, where is the most famous verse from the Bible? Like I made a mistake before because I was thinking nasi nagid. Oops. But where is the most famous verse in which we have the word nega? It says nega lamo.
I have no idea.
I know there are some people who definitely know this, but it's Isaiah chapter 53. Right? Isaiah chapter 53 uses the word nega. Nega lamo means a plague to him. All right. But technically lamo is plural, like to them, like lahem, lamo. But they translate it generally in Christian Bibles as a plague to him. That is Jesus, they say. But anyway, verse 20. We have 8 minutes. And I would love if people would ask questions in the live chat that we could
can ask
answer.
Questions if they have questions. Just don't be shy.
If you don't have
and I will
ask one.
But if you don't have questions, then don't feel free. Don't force it. But I will
remind you real quick that we have a Patreon website, patreon.com/thehebrewcafe. You're welcome to come and join, support what we do, and get links to join us on screen and also to do the private lessons.
I think I'll make the shorts part of the patron stuff.
All right, sounds great.
And you can ask questions.
Verse 20.
Verse 20. It's my turn, isn't it? Yeah. So Zot na'aseh lahem v'hachayeh v'lo yeyeh aleinu ketz al asher nishbanu lahem. So we shall do this for you.
Not for you.
For them, but I don't know.
Yeah. This we shall do for them.
For who?
For the Hivites.
Okay, this we shall do for them, so that they might be preserved, and we shall preserve them, maybe, so that we might preserve them. And they will not be. Is it ketzef a burden?
No.
What's ketzef?
Ketzef more serious than a burden. It's wrath.
Okay.
There will not be wrath upon us, meaning that God will not be angry that we made a covenant with these people.
Yeah. Concerning the swearing that they swore for them.
Or the oath.
Yeah,
the oath which we swore for them. Or to them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant. So we have finished to verse 20.
We still have 5 minutes left.
I think. Yeah.
We have time for it. Well, long.
Okay. Last verse, we have a comment. Yes, last verse,
do.
I think. Is it meant to be as literal as it sounds? All the congregation, all the leaders, and the we? Well, the last verse, meaning 19, ויאמרו כל הנשיאים אל כל העדה, אנחנו נשבענו להם. All the leaders said to all the congregation, we made an oath to them. We swore to them in the name of, we're going to say in the name of, but it means by the Lord God of Israel. And now we can't touch them. What does the word kol mean? Does it really mean all the leaders of the people and all the congregation? It sounds hyperbolic. It sounds like he's exaggerating just to make a point. All of the leaders, we all agreed it's anonymous, and they said to all the congregation, everybody heard it. Like, we're not hiding anything here. So yeah, it seems hyperbolic, but probably is a way to escape guilt. That's what I think. What do you guys think?
I think that this is been heavily redacted to establish Zionism. That's
I'm gonna kick you out of this session.
No, you're not.
I'm a big old Zionist. I love my country.
When I say Zionist, I mean countryhood.
Jews must have a home.
So should Palestinians.
Because this is where we are, it needs to be here.
This is definitely not a language discussion.
Oh, I know. Verse 21. Where are we? Are we with you, Colton, or with me?
You.
Oh, right. ויאמרו עליהם הנשיאים יחיו ויהיו חוטבי עצים ושואבי מים לכל העדה כאשר דיברו להם הנשיאים. All right. So ויאמרו עליהם הנשיאים. This is the leaders of the people said to them. Notice that it is missing in the Septuagint because, no, is that what it says? Yes. I'm sorry. It's down. So in the Septuagint, what's going on? Where did it go? Verse 21. Okay. In the Septuagint and in the Vulgate, this is missing, the word leaders, because it's really not necessarily we know who's talking to them, right? So they said to them, or the leader said to them, let them live. Okay, let them live. And they were. This is the past tense, but the Septuagint and Syriac and the Talmud read it as the future. 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗥𝗡, let them, and they will be. They will become. Because it's reading it as a future. Let them live, and they will be. v'hayu, and they will become the tree choppers, חוטבי עצים, and water drawers, people who draw out water from the wells for all of the assembly. Like they're going to become our slaves. They're going to be the ones who chop our wood and draw our water from the wells. As, or this would be kathos in Greek, even as, דיברו להם הנשיאים, even as the leaders had said to them. We're going to read that as a perfect. Leaders had said to them, probably as a condition of the peace. Let's see what the Septuagint manuscripts say. They add 𝗥𝗘𝗦𝗘𝗧, and they made pasai synagogue. And so it says all of the congregation made, probably they made them do it. They made them their slaves, right? ויעשו כל העדה. And what is that Syriac nonsense? I have no idea. עצים ושואבי מים לעדת אדוני עד היום הזה ויהיו חוטבי. Probably the 𝗥𝗘𝗦 should go up at the top. חוטבי עצים ושואבי מים. But anyway, this is how the BHS works. So we have comments about what happens in other versions of the text. Okay, we are out of time.
We are out of time.
And we will meet back here, same bat time, same bat channel next week for a continuation.
People don't know that reference anymore.
Batman.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Listen, they better know it because it's the best Batman there ever was.
Yeah. So we're going to start with verse 22 next week to continue working on chapter 9. We have Wine Green exercise 22 up after this. Please go to the YouTube link under live, and you'll under youtube.com/HebrewCafe under the live tab to get the next link. And we will be starting in a couple of minutes. Notice that we have 17 exercises to get through, and some of them are pretty long. So we got to get started. We'll see you guys next week. And whoever's joining us, maybe Galen, maybe somebody else, jump on through Patreon and join us. Jonathan, we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
I might start doing the shorts either this week or next week. Probably next week.
Good luck.
I need to
bye.
I need to finish.
I gotta shut down because we're already time to start.
Everybody.
Bye.